I'm really excited because if you know me, you know I'm a former teacher, and I get really excited when we talk about training people to deal with autism, whether it's teachers or BCBAs. And the next two guests that we have joining us right now via Skype are women who are on a mission, and they're training people. And so I love and adore them and haven't met them yet, but I love and adore them anyway. So right now via Skype from New Mexico, we have Patty Weigand and Jocelin Tilton. There they are. Welcome, you guys. So thrilled to have you here with us on Skype. We were having a little bit of sound issues, so we're going to give it a try with just the Skype sound, and we're going to see how it goes. But let's start, ladies, by having you tell our audience what your titles are and where you work.
So I'm the Autism Support Specialist for Santa Fe Public Schools. I work all throughout the district. There's about 27 schools, and there are about 117 students with autism in our district, and we have a few classrooms that are designated for highly structured classroom settings that we work very closely in those classrooms with the teachers and the staff and EAs and parents, etc. To basically make sure that we're doing the evidence-based practices that are needed for, best instruction for students with autism. So,
and I guess I just got to tell you, even hearing that, I just want to hug you because the attitude that you have about this is so great. And I started the show today by saying that people need to let go of their old ideas, and a lot of times people feel like it has to be contentious with their school district, and people like you are paving a way, and we, the parents, need to let go of those old ideas because there are amazing people like you. But Patty, talk to us about your title and what you do.
Okay, so my name is Dr. Patty Weigand. I'm a board-certified behavior analyst, and I am an employee of Santa Fe Public Schools, which Jocelyn and I were just actually talking about the importance of having staff such as ourselves employed as compared to contractors. And so I largely work with the special education and students who have behavioral problems. But Jocelyn and I work together also in developing and working with staff to train them for all these special practices that we have that are evidence-based, and so we kind of work as a team.
Well, I got to tell you, the way I found out about you guys is that somebody who works for CARD sent me an email and said, Shannon, you got to know about these two women. They're like so amazing, and they're doing something really fantastic in New Mexico, and we got to let you know about it. And so I want you to tell folks at home what it is that they were referring to that you guys have been doing that is just so, and they were there and saw it and said it's spectacular. So tell the folks at home what you've been doing.
Well, where to start, first of all?
Yeah.
Well, one of the things is our specialized programs, I guess, or special programs that we have, and really working intimately with those teachers and staff members to train them, to coach them, to mentor, to work towards collecting data, progress monitoring, making sure the best practices are being used. So that instructional training is one of the things that we do together. And one way we're able to do that is we have a summer, what do we call it, Summer Institute?
The summer autism
training. That's what it is. It's a 5-day autism training that we were able to learn ourselves through a model called the Heartland model out of Iowa, and we were trained and brought that back to Santa Fe Public Schools and have been leading that, and we've been able to train about 250 teachers and related service staff members and general education teachers, which we have a team of trainers that we work with that have learned this model as well, and we do this amazing 5-day program. So that's like probably the beginning point. Yeah. Then with ongoing training.
The unique thing about this training, Shannon, is that we actually have students as part of the training. So we have individual students who are on the spectrum, and they actually allow us to help teach people how to teach them. And so it's a very structured, it's very intense 5 days. We go through the theory, sort of like the day before, and the following morning, the trainees work with the students in teaching them certain skills.
And I gotta say, this just makes so much sense to me. But I, whenever I can, I'm talking to people about what are we doing to get our teachers trained, what are we getting to do, and the people who tend to agree with me go, well, we're teaching the special ed teachers, but my question is always, are we teaching all of the teachers? And so I guess that's where I want to start with you guys. Do you start with just the special ed teachers, or are your gen ed teachers there too?
Our general educational teachers are with us as well, and one of the things that's great is that we can identify what students are moving into certain classrooms with the teachers, and we ask those teachers that are going to receive those students to come to our training the summer before they receive their students. So not only are they there at the transitional meeting, but they're there to get the specific strategies and overall understanding and general characteristics of autism, and then we move into communication, structured teaching, social skills, independence and curriculum for that 5 days. So the general education teachers are part of it, and they're just amazed about, first of all, they get a real good look at what special ed teachers need to do, know, and learn, and then they have a really good sense of what about children with autism, because we have five children from preschool through high school with different functioning levels and different visual schedules that they're using, object, line drawing with word, written word, embedded schedules. They get to see their different communication styles. They get to see different social skills and visual supports that we're using to teach the students. So they get to really be part of it all and work with the students at different levels throughout the 5 days. And
they also learn about how important it is to structure tasks so that they visually speak for themselves, using the strengths of the students' visual processing, that we take a lot of time in helping them learn how to adapt activities for the student with autism.
And then we're able to go into the classrooms and, be supportive and see, and just even go in and observe and then say, okay, well, we see that you might need this visual support. Many of our classrooms here in Santa Fe, we're very lucky, have smart boards, and a lot of our teachers utilize these in general education settings. And so it's just simple things like posting on their smart board, like the schedules, or making sure that written directions are for all students. It's a great teaching practice to use, but making sure that they're using some of these strategies or noticing where they're using them and giving them that feedback that they're doing a great job, and they might be able to do this or see this.
I got to tell you guys, it's hard for me hearing this not to want to cry, because I just want to give you guys awards for what you're doing, because this is what has to happen. And yet, it's so amazing that you guys are doing it. I wish that more people were doing it. So I want to ask you, what do other states need to know about the benefits of what you're doing and how you set it up so that more states and more places can be doing this all-important kind of work?
Well, I think it's just basically important to understand the population and to also understand the evidence-based practices in terms of how to instruct the population and also to make the learning experience positive for them. Jocelyn and I set up one classroom for 2 weeks. It took us 2 weeks to set up one classroom for 4 children. And so the difference is, the second they walked in the door on the first day, they knew exactly where to put their backpack. They knew exactly how to check their schedule, and it made things a lot smoother for them. It was a very positive day. They enjoyed the environment. They had the opportunity to explore it. So they have the needed structure and predictability at first, knowing that it's going to be a little bit of a rough start, but we have everything ready the second they walk into the classroom.
And we're actually sharing some pictures that you guys sent us so that people can see. how organized and how visual you have the classroom set, because that's key for a lot of our kids to success. And I'm wondering, you guys, if you could talk a little bit about what, because this wasn't always in place. What inspired you guys and said, hey, we're gonna let go of our old ideas, and we're gonna rethink this, and we're gonna have 5 days in the summer, and we're gonna get a jump on this. What inspired you to do that?
Well, I would say it's the director. To go back on your former question, what should other states know? It's really about the leadership staff of school districts. We had a special ed director here that this was really her passion. We had started a classroom specific with students specifically with autism, and I was the teacher at that time. I think that was 8 years ago. Mm-hmm. And you can read and you can do as much research and you can have everything, but until you see it, know it, and really are trained in it, it's a whole different ball game. And when you have someone that's helping to mentor you through things, that really helps. But because of her name is Trisha Elma, I'll just put that out there. Her leadership and her guidance, she really is the one who said she had come from Iowa and had known this model, and she sent Patty and I the following year after I had that one classroom, and we were able to come back with it. So I think that would be.
It's actually it was actually several weeks of training with Iowa over several years. So this wasn't a one-shot deal where you just go in there and leave and feel like you can reproduce those practices. But it takes a lot of support from your leadership. It takes a lot of commitment and
the funding
and funding, and that's a part of this. And I think we can't leave that out of it, but clearly enough people in your leadership have prioritized this. But I'm gonna guess that somebody pushed for it in the beginning, but that it's continued because you've seen good results. Talk to me a little bit about what you guys have seen happen as a result of all the things that you've put in place.
Well, I would say that what I've seen is more highly qualified teachers that feel very comfortable working with this, our population of children with autism, and they're asking great questions, and students' progress is just remarkable, and that is what is truly amazing. I mean, starting it in preschool, these structured classroom settings, giving them what they need and supporting the teachers, and then seeing them move out of classrooms into the general ed population and being successful and moving through into high school and secondary settings. So to me that's been the most.
And I've definitely seen a significant reduction in behavior referrals that involve students who have autism. I don't even think anymore I see any students with autism as part of the behavior team, because they have the structure and the support that they need, and they are taught communication skills. So I virtually lost the job with the behavior supports in autism. So we work together to set up the classrooms.
Love it. And for anybody who's watching who's still like, oh, I don't know, from safety to what the goal is, which is to educate children. I would think that this helps with everything, both those things and everything in between. And I know as a former teacher that when you give a teacher tools, you change the world. Yes. But this expectation that teachers were supposed to know this on their own, I think we've proven that doesn't work. Teachers need tools, and you guys are putting them in their hands. In fact, I want to clone you, and I want to know, have you guys thought of putting together a book or a series of DVDs or something so that people could learn from what you're doing?
We haven't really thought about it. We just asked the question.
Well, I want you to start thinking about it. Right?